Here are 3 unique builds to use on Preacher Zealot. Before we begin, a quick note. I will always be recommending thy wrath be swift for your level 20 feat, as it's mandatory if you want to be even remotely aggressive in melee combat, as it allows you to trade blows with the enemy instead of getting stunlocked by them. The Crit City build focuses on maximizing your crowd control and damage potential through the use of Zealot's high synergy with critical strikes. The Mark IV Devil's Claw Sword is a fantastic weapon due to its high versatility and adaptability in all situations, as it has not only a fantastic horde clear combo by alternating light and heavy attacks, but good single target damage as well when you parry cancel the heavy overhead. In order to get the most out of this weapon, you'll want both Shred and Devastating Strike, which will synergize not only with each other, but with the feats you'll be running as well. The Mark VII Combat Shotgun is a fantastic ranged option for the slug round alone. With shockingly high damage and pinpoint accuracy, you'll be a menace at both ranged and in melee when running these 2 weapons. While not required, running full bore on the shotgun will boost your slug damage significantly on subsequent shots, so throw that on if you're able to. For feats, use Bloodletting, Inspiring Excoriation, Rising Conviction, and Invocation of Death. Bloodletting and Invocation of Death is the bread and butter of this build. When run in combination with Shred, your crit chance will be through the roof, allowing you to get the maximum value from these feats, and the biggest boon comes with Invocation of Death. There is no hard cap to how many times it can proc, so if you crit and cleave through 10 enemies thanks to the help of Devastating Strike, you will receive a 10-second cooldown to Chastise the Wicked. Additionally, there is no cooldown to how often this can proc, allowing it to proc on every single swing. During a horde, once you build up your stacks of Shred, you will build up your ultimate so fast you'll be able to ult every 3 to 5 seconds, vastly increasing your damage and survivability. Additionally, this is why you run Inspiring Excoriation, as the rapid ult charge allows you to be a potent support to your other frontliners as well. Rising Conviction is good because it just boosts your overall DPS, although you could run Emperor's Executioner if you want more reliable range damage with the combat shotgun. The Power City build focuses on maximizing your raw damage potential on Zealot, allowing you to be a massive threat to all enemies within melee range. While you could run any tac axe with this build, I find the Mark VII to be the most reliable due to its push attacks and first heavy attack being sweeps, making it perfect for horde control. However, you can make these attacks incredibly powerful versus single targets and even better at crowd control by using the blessings Limbsplitter and Headtaker. Limbsplitter allows you to reach breakpoints to one-shot headshot trash mobs on damnation that would otherwise be difficult to obtain, and with how easy it is to repeatedly spam push attacks and block cancel the weapon's first heavy attack, you won't have to deal with the downside that Limbsplitter poses that often. However, if you do need to chain attacks together, it's not an issue, as Headtaker not only completely negates that downside, but adds additional damage on top of it at higher rarities, making you the deadly rager that the enemies should fear. You can continue to run the combat shotgun if you prefer a far-ranged option, but if you want to fully lean into the close-ranged menace this build makes you, there is no better option than the Shredder Autopistol, which will let you melt down both hordes and lightly armored enemies with ease. For feats, you'll want Purify in Blood, Bloodletting, Benediction, Rising Conviction, and Purge the Wicked. Once again, Rising Conviction just boosts your overall damage, and Benediction allows you to tank more damage. Bloodletting will also boost your overall damage since you'll mainly be using heavy attacks to deal damage, and Purge the Wicked will both increase your damage output and increase your survivability. And lastly, the Chunk City build focuses on allowing you to balance consistent, rapid damage with the occasional massive blow, letting you shred through bosses and tough opponents with ease. The Mark II Thunderhammer is perfect for this build as it inherently has a great balance between consistent damage and singular massive blows with its special attack, which is now even better after its recent round of buffs. For blessings, you'll want to maximize your overall power similar to what we do with the Power City build, which is why you should run Slaughterer. For your second blessing though, you have 2 main options. If you'd prefer for less overall but more consistent damage, then run Headtaker, but if you'd prefer to trade that consistent damage out for much higher damaging special attacks, then run Thrust. I personally prefer faster attack speed, so I use Headtaker, but either blessing will work for this build. For ranged, the heavy Lazpistol is perfect as it not only gives you ranged capabilities, but it also allows you to maintain high mobility and dodge range for dangerous situations, something you would lack if you run any other ranged weapon. For feats, you'll want Enemies Within, Punishment, Benediction, Rising Conviction, and Purge the Wicked. Benediction and Rising Conviction continue to boost your survivability and damage. Purge the Wicked does both, as well as give you some extra movement if you ever need it to close the gap, and Punishment helps you to control mixed hordes much more easily, as with max stacks you can fully cleave through and stagger lightly armored elite units, including Maulers. Now, you might think that because you're running Punishment, you don't need to run thy Wrath Be Swift, since you gain the effects of the perk at max stacks of Punishment, but trust me when I say it's completely worth the feat slot. This build is all about momentum and snowballing, as the more you fight, the more powerful you become. Anything that stops your attacks causes you to lose that momentum and puts you in a very dangerous spot, since you'll be in the thick of it virtually all the time, and without that immunity to melee attack stuns, you are usually one stray hit away from becoming instantly overwhelmed and dying. If you really think you'll be okay without it though, you can instead run Faith Restores All, since it'll offset some of that chip damage you'll take from being knee-deep in heretics. Thanks for watching, and thanks to this month's Patreons for their continued support. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe for more Darktide content in the future. See y'all next time!